track, rip it up. And if you bad mind people to go meet it up. Pass me the Congo drum and let me beat it up. God on my side, me no give it up. So no weapon that form against us shall not prevail. And no man that rise against us, that war they shall never win. Cause I will conquer, oh I will conquer, yes I will conquer them. Come on, let's conquer, oh I will conquer, rise up and conquer them. Thank you, Father. I want to say thank you, Lord. You are everything, Father. Thank you. Father, you alone shall guide me. No man shall lead my path. In the wind I hear your quiet whispers, and you heal my broken heart. Even some of my friends turn enemies, and they pray for right to feel. And remember you gave us your only begotten son, but we gave him the wound of life. Send down your warriors with the hello. They carry down to the end of days. No matter how the devil try trick me, unto you my soul I will give. Father, I know this storm is coming. I can see the high tide raise. Without you there is no other. Could there be that real decisive?
Good morning, Grenada. Good morning to all of our listening audience. You're listening to Hard Talk Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. Thank you for everyone who is listening to us this morning. A special good morning to those of you listening on 97.5, that's CitysoundFM, 89.5 CRFM, 92.9 Sister Isle Radio, and that's broadcasting from Hillsborough, Carriacou, and of course the big bad We Noise Radio, and that's out of Brooklyn, New York. It's always a pleasure being here with you. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning in Grenada. And we've got so much going on, so many things that we want to talk about today. We definitely should have a guest in studio with us this morning. Of course, you know it's Youth Week, so we've got to promote our youth. Ministry of Youth is coming to talk to us about what they have in store for the youth of our country during this week and even after this week, what's happening with the youth of our country. Of course, before he comes, we're going to have an open line, 440-7377, so you can call in, tell us what's going on in your little slice of the island, and let's get the ball rolling. The first thing, though, I want to talk about before he gets here is something that would have come up yesterday. Of course, the New National Party would have come out of a very successful convention on Sunday. If I do say so myself, I believe a lot of information came out of it. A lot of our supporters were there. Thank you to every single one of you who took the time to come out on Sunday to hear from your parliamentary representatives, to hear from your political leader, and of course those of you who participated in the elections to elect your new national executive. So thank you to all of you. I know usually it's a burden leaving a house on a Sunday, because for those of us who are parents, we understand the struggle that it is. But you guys made the sacrifice and you came out. So we want to thank you, of course, for doing that. Now, on Sunday, we had a very special guest coming to speak with us, the public relations officer from the National Insurance Scheme. And she did a wonderful job, in my opinion. She was very thorough, well explained, the details of the NIS, how it functions, the increases that is expected to happen in January of 2020. I believe she put together a wonderful presentation and she presented to the people. Now, she didn't just come there to present to NNP. And let's just get that straight first. That young lady took time out of her busy schedule to come and present to the people of the state of Grenada. And you see, that's where we always get things wrong. We always seem to politicize everything. She came on a political platform, yes, but she didn't come to speak politics. She came to speak to the people of Grenada about an an issue or a change that is going to affect them, right? And if I had to give any of the naysayers or any of the criticizers any advice, it would be, I have her number, I can give it to you, give her a call and let her come and explain on your forum and on your platform what the NIS entails. What are the benefits that are available for your people? Because at the end of the day, the National Insurance Scheme is not an NNP scheme. It is not an NDC scheme. The National Insurance Scheme is a nationwide scheme. It is the national insurance scheme of the state of Grenada. So regardless of what political party comes or goes, the National Insurance Scheme will remain. And if there are policies that are being put in place that will affect our people, we want to hear about it. I would encourage them to go to every business place, every church, every schoolhouse, right? Every forum that they find available to explain to the people, because it's where they can reach the people. So if the people don't come to you, you have to go to them, right? So it's where they can reach the people to get the information out there. So I commend them for taking time out of their busy schedule to come and speak to us on issues or matters involving the National Insurance Scheme. So to all of the naysayers out there who have a problem with her coming because it's NNP, I would say shame on you. Shame on you. And I would encourage you. We have NDC convention coming up on Saturdays. I would encourage them to call the NIS and see if they can arrange with them to have her come and do a presentation. I mean, I'm not sure how willing she's going to be to do it now, since they would have lambasted her unnecessarily. But at the same time, what she is doing is important. And I commend them for making the extra effort to go out there and to meet the people. And that is what more of us need to do. So if you don't want to call the NIS to get the information, they will come to you. They will come to your forums. They will come to your sittings. They would come to your consultations, and they will explain to the people of Grenada what this change entails. And not just what the change entails, but a lot of comparisons. So I gained a lot of information out of the sessions that Ms. Douglas would have had over a period of time. We have to be careful. We really, really have to be careful. We are hurting our own selves as a people, you know? And there are some of us, we just jump on a bandwagon of no, just because we want to be part of the conversation. It's okay to stand out and be different. It's okay to say they did nothing wrong or she did nothing wrong. It's okay to go in array for something that is good. I don't see why we don't have more conversations about what is going on in the state that is good, what is happening that is positive. We hear a lot of the negativity, a lot of the wrong things that are happening, but yet for all, when the good things happen, we still try to pin a negative aspect to it to make it seem negative. That was a wonderful thing that they did. They came out there and they met the people. So I would encourage the National Democratic Congress, if they would take the advice, to invite the NIS to come and speak to the people. Let them know what's happening. Give them an idea of what to expect, right? But they may not do it, because what it might do is show up on some of the misleading statements that they themselves would have made as it relates to the National Insurance Scheme or to the increase that would have happened recently. But sometimes, for the sake of the people of the state of Grenada, we have to admit when we're wrong, right? We have to. So I would encourage them, contact the NIS. I mean, they're probably just upset, Nazim, that they didn't do it first, right? That's probably what's wrong. They're probably upset that they didn't do it first. But the fact of the matter is, it was done. It was a good move. There's nothing political about it. We need to stop pinning politics on everything just to get our people riled up and just to get our people in a tailspin with politics and this nonsense of color. It needs to stop. On the lighter side of things, the Women's Arm, in collaboration with the Youth Arm of the New National Party, they will be having a march today at 11 o'clock. I believe that they're gathering at the Lacroix roundabout, keep left, that roundabout that takes you into River Road and Stadium and back into town. They will be meeting there with a few of their stakeholders and so on, and they'll be having a march against child sexual abuse. You see, what concerns me the most is that when this issue occurred, we had a lot of talk. There were a lot of people out there sharing their opinions on what should happen, sharing their views on what should happen. Now it is time for action and no longer time for talk. So I'm looking on very closely to see how many people would actually join in this venture to speak up against child sexual abuse, because it is a terrible, terrible thing. No matter what political party you support, whether you support the government, whether you support the decision of the judiciary, whether you do not support the decision of the judiciary, this march is important because it gives us now more than just a voice. It speaks of action. So I want to see all of the people who were up in arms about the laws and up in arms about the judge and up in arms about child sexual abuse and not enough is being done and all of that. I would like to see how many of them would now attend. And I encourage them, attend. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be seen doing something positive, even if it offends a few. Because at the end of the day, you are doing something that is positive. Your conscience is clear and you sleep well at night because you know that you would have made a statement. You would have done something to prevent it. And we had lengthy talks last week about child sexual abuse and what we should do and having that conversation with your children and how important that conversation with your children is. It has to happen. We need to ensure that it happens. So we're going to take a very, very short break, and then we'll be back with some more information from you as it relates to our Youth Week that's coming up this week. And, of course, our guest is on his way to give us some more detailed information as it relates to that.
Hello listeners, this program comes to you.
Join the Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts in celebrating National Youth Week, October 26th to November 3rd, 2019, under the theme Embracing Opportunities, Soaring Higher. Kicking it off with a health walk on Saturday, October 26th, 4:30 p.m. Samaritan Junction to Victoria. Then the minister's address, 7:30 p.m. via social media and all media outlets. Monday, October 28th, Youth Vibe, 5 to 7 p.m. Telescope Community Center. Tuesday the 29th, St. George Youth Parliament, 4 p.m. St. Rose Modern Secondary School. Wednesday the 30th, Job Fair and Career Day, 11 a.m. Granby Street, St. George's. Thursday the 31st, Fun Night and Indoor Games, 5 p.m. at the Youth Center. Friday, November 1st, Discovering Talent and Expo, 3 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. George Patterson Street, Granville. It's going to be a massive affair. Saturday the 2nd, National Youth Awards, 6:30 p.m. Pier 57, Grand Mall, St. George. And on Sunday, November 3rd, the grand finale, the massive Peace Concert, 4 p.m. Sotez Bus Terminal. Grab your friends, link your posse. All youths on the move. National Youth Week, October 26th to November 3rd, 2019. Play your part. Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
Imagine that you've worked all year and finally able to escape to Grenada for the perfect holiday. You are now relaxing on Grand Anse Beach with the wind in your hair and sand on your feet, hearing the sound of the waves crashing on the shore and birds chirp.
Miss, you want any coconut water?
No, thank you.
Oh gosh, miss, buy something now.
What about these pretty necklaces?
No, thank you, sir.
You sure you don't want no coconut water? It's good for your daughter, you know.
Miss, you have any children?
This is harassment. One bad experience
And
could
that's
translate
beach
into
with
the
the wind
loss
in
of
your
new
hair.
and repeat visitors. Tourism benefits everyone. Tourism is everybody's business.
My enemies' walls are bound to crumble, and to the floor their spears will fall. I've been made and sealed with love, but time to battle, I'll find them all. I felt the whips and remember chains, but my sword has been forged by my father's flames. Fight your fears and heal your pain, and victory will be in your name. I used to be weak, but I'm not weak no more. I found the strength of my ancestors deep down in my African core. I used to be frightened, I'm not afraid no more. The Father blessed me with the heart of a lion and a warrior soul.
All right, and we are back. And as promised, I have some information for you as it relates to the Youth Week. I believe that yesterday the St. John Parish would have had their youth parliament. And that is something that always interests me. I believe that more young people must get involved when it relates to youth parliament. It gives you an ideas and an understanding as to what happens when even our parliamentarians go to parliament. So it's a really good effort that the young people are doing. I believe that they would have gone to most of the parishes already and conducted youth parliaments. So you definitely want to find out some more information about that, find out where or who you can get in contact to be a part of their group or to just support them. Today, of course, they're having their job fair, Career Day, and that's happening at 11 a.m. at the Granby Street, St. George. So I want to encourage those young people that we have out there, whether you're unemployed, whether you're employed and you have a day off, those with ideas of businesses that you want to start, these kinds of things. You go down there and they will be there to assist you, to give you some information on what's going on and what you can do and what jobs are available or what businesses you can start. It's a start, people. It's a start. We have to start somewhere, right? From coming out of our convention on Sunday, we would have had the Minister of Education who would have delivered a very interesting and important message. She would have spoken on some of the young people that they would have had instituted at the rehabilitation center, the Juvenile Rehabilitation Center in Bacalet. And it was very alarming and very concerning because it means that as a people, as a community, we are failing our children. And it's not the government that's failing the children, and it's not the politicians that's failing the children. It's not the political parties that's failing the children. It's us as a society. We are the ones failing our own children. And it's a sad thing to say because, I mean, I'm a mother too, and it hurts me to know that we are not doing our duty and looking out for the children in our community. They don't have to be your blood, your biological children. But, I mean, you have to look out for them because they are the future of our country. And it's usually said that it takes a village to raise children. And that is such a true statement because we never know what is going on in the personal lives of a child. In my time as a teacher, you would hear so many stories from these children about things that they're feeling and things that they're experiencing. And they don't know who to turn to. They don't know who to talk to. And it's sad when your children in society feel hopeless. So they start acting out. And they start behaving badly. And instead of trying to find out what the problem is or trying to figure out how we as a people can help, what do? We condemn. Well, I don't know what that child bad, so what that parent doing? And sometimes the parent themselves don't even know what's wrong with the child. It's important for us as a people to create a safe haven for our children where they feel comfortable. Somebody that they can run to, somebody that they can talk to, even if they don't feel comfortable talking within their homes. There is somebody that they can reach out to, somebody that they can talk to, whether it's in a community. Maybe instead of condemning them, maybe we should start looking at ways that we can develop a hotline for troubled youth, troubled teens, not just for sexual abuse, but for our young people, a place where they can call, where they can feel anonymous, where they can get advice. That is maybe something that we can look into. Because the numbers are alarming of the children that are being sent to that juvenile rehabilitation center. It's very alarming. And these are the same young people, if not helped, if not supported, will end up back into our societies. And then we will have an even bigger problem. To all of the people on the live, good morning. Good morning to you, Cynthia. Good morning to you, Sonia. Good morning to you, Caitlin. I can't see everybody, but to all of you joining us on the live, good morning. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here with us. You know, it's so important. We need to start setting standards. We are a bad example for our young people, and I'm not ashamed to say it, because we focus so much on negativity. We focus so much on the negative things that they don't see any positivity in their lives, that they have no positive background to fall back on. And this may not be all of our young people, but based on the numbers, the majority, there is a majority of young people that are struggling, whether it's emotionally, whether it's mentally, financially, physically, they are struggling. Where is their outlet? Where is their avenue? We're spending time complaining and cussing about NIS coming and speak on NNP platform and who the new Minister of Information is and all of these things that are less relevant than the brewing issue that we have with our young people. What are our plans as a nation? What do we plan to do? Because these young people are the ones that are going to go into society broken and damaged. And then we are going to have a bigger problem. We won't have space in Richmond Hill. Our lives will be tormented because we have a bunch of young people with no guidance. It takes more than just sending them to a rehabilitation center. Where is the scaffolding in the communities? Where are the people with all of the opinions on what should and should not happen? Of all of the policies that we should and should not have? All of these people in their communities, what are they doing on their little slice of the island to help these young people, to guide these young people, to scaffold these young people, to ensure that they themselves are not affected by what is eminently going to happen if these young people are not supported, if these young people are not guided. Some of them are frustrated because whether it's an issue with their family, whether it's an issue in school, whether it's some bullying, we don't know what the issue is, and we don't take the time to find out. And that is where we have the biggest problem. We no longer care for each other as Grenadians. It's all man for themselves. And that is very sad that we are so divided as a people. We are so divided as a nation that the most that concerns us is the politics. Where is the humanity side of it? What are we doing as a people to ensure that socially our country is better? That socially our people are better? What are we doing? The lines are open. You can call and give your opinions. The number is 440-7377. And of course, you can call if you're calling from the U.S. or overseas. That's 347-329-3101. Let us know what you're doing on your side of the island, on your little rock, that is helping the children of Grenada. Because this is going to be a big problem in months to come. I'm not even saying years. In months to come, this is going to be a serious problem. Where we are unable to manage the youth of our country, where we are unable to manage the effects of these children not getting help. So maybe that really is something that we need to look into. Maybe a hotline, maybe an open therapist that they can go to, or that they can call, a center for rehabilitation that they can call if they need assistance, if they need guidance. Because some of them, they don't even want us to know who they are. But that doesn't mean that they don't need help just the same. So we definitely do need to pay attention to the young people of our country. They are hurting. We're going to take another short break. Our guest is soon arriving, and then we'll have some good conversation on what is going on in this Youth Week. Help just the same. So we definitely do need
Join the Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts in celebrating National Youth Week, October 26th to November 3rd, 2019, under the theme Embracing Opportunities, Soaring Higher. Kicking it off with a health walk on Saturday, October 26th, 4:30 p.m. Samaritan Junction to Victoria. Then the minister's address, 7:30 p.m. via social media and all media outlets. Monday, October 28th, Youth Vibe, 5 to 7 p.m. Telescope Community Center. Tuesday the 29th, St. George Youth Parliament, 4 p.m. St. Rose Modern Secondary School. Wednesday the 30th, Job Fair and Career Day, 11 a.m. Granby Street, St. George's. Thursday the 31st, Fun Night and Indoor Games, 5 p.m. at the Youth Center. Friday, November 1st, Discovering Talent and Expo, 3 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. George Patterson Street, Grenville. It's going to be a massive affair. Saturday the 2nd, National Youth Awards, 6:30 p.m. Pier 57, Grand Mall, St. George. And on Sunday, November 3rd, the grand finale, the massive Peace Concert, 4 p.m. Sotaz Bus Terminal. Grab your friends, link your posse. All youths on the move. National Youth Week, October 26th to November 3rd, 2019. Play your part.
Water, Earth's purest, life-sustaining resource, can easily become contaminated by environmental conditions. NAWASA continues to improve the quality of its water supply through state-of-the-art water treatment systems and trained, experienced staff. NAWASA preserves our health and quality of life. NAWASA, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Good morning, listeners. Welcome to another edition of WaterWise, a production of the National Water and Sewerage Authority, NAWASA. Thank you for joining us. I'm your presenter, Wendy Chateau. Following NAWASA's recent challenge at its largest water system at Annandale, many no longer need to imagine a day without water, having lived the experience. As the day was observed last Wednesday, October 23rd, thousands of consumers served by the Annandale system were either still without water or, in some cases, just having their supply restored, following a rain event that damaged the piping network at the dam. We often take the water systems that bring clean water to our homes and businesses for granted. We turn our taps on and flush our toilets without thinking twice about where that water comes from or where it will go. But could you imagine a day without water? Without a safe, adequate, and reliable water supply? A day without water equals crisis. A day without water means no water comes out of your tap to brush your teeth, to flush our toilets, to clean our homes, or to prepare our meals. Firefighters have no water to put out fires. Farmers couldn't water their crops, and doctors couldn't wash their hands. A single day without water service also affects economic activity. A day without water is nothing short of a humanitarian, political, and economic crisis. While unimaginable for most of us, there are communities where individuals live without running water. The problems that face our water systems are multifaceted. Drought, flooding, and climate change stress our water systems. But what can you do to mitigate the discomforts associated with not having water? Develop a habit of always having personal safe storage. Having pipe-borne water for use in our homes is a privilege we often take for granted until a situation occurs that leaves us without. Our drinking water comes from various sources, which can be affected by heavy rains and/or drought. Water flows from intake points to a treatment plant, a storage tank, and then to our houses through various pipe systems. But if for one reason or the other our sources are affected, it means our supply will automatically be affected. When emergency preparations come into the topic, we often think about gear, food, and other things that are essential for our daily lives. Water must top that list. It is one of the main and most important necessities of humans and among the most crucial components of our survival. This fact gives water storage at home major significance for meeting all our daily demands. Installing water storage tanks or having other essentials for storing water plays a significant role in alleviating the discomforts associated with a lack of pipe-borne water, helping with all daily tasks. Emergencies can arise at any time, sometimes without warning, and unfortunately, those conditions often affect the environment necessary for a safe supply of drinking water. You are therefore encouraged to collect and store at least a 3-day supply of 35 gallons of water per person per day in clean, covered containers, taking the needs of family members and pets into consideration. We cannot overstate the importance of having adequate water storage at all times. Water is used for many purposes, all of which can be affected in instances when water supply is affected for one reason or another. It is therefore important to understand the need to have adequate storage, a basic step in ensuring you do not have to live or imagine a day without water. That's our program for today. Until next time, on behalf of the entire team at Nawasa, I am Wendy Chateau, wishing you a fantastic day. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay connected.
Water, Earth's purest life-sustaining resource, can easily become contaminated by environmental conditions. Nawasa continues to improve the quality of its water supply through state-of-the-art water treatment systems and trained, experienced staff. Nawasa preserves our health and quality of life. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
All right, and we are back, and in studio with us today we have Mr. Royden Bihari, from the Ministry of Youth Development, and he is here to give us some more information about what's happening for this Youth Week, and of course, beyond. Because it doesn't just stop at that week. We have things that are continuously happening for our youth. So good morning.
Good morning to you and to all the listeners of HARDTALK and the other social media platforms that is carrying your program, especially the young persons who are listening today. I bid you a blessed morning on behalf of the Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture, and the Arts.
Well, thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure having guests who are able to come and explain to us what's happening within not just their ministries, but what are available for the people of Grenada. It's your first, and I'm hoping that it is not your last.
It will not. It will not.
All right, great. So today, and as I was telling the people earlier, we have the Youth Career Day that's happening at Granby Street. So give us a little bit more information on that, what it entails.
Definitely. So as persons would have more or less be aware, we would have started our Youth Week celebration on Saturday last. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you thus far, we started off on Saturday with our health walk and dance exercise. And then on Monday, we definitely had another of our activities. Yesterday, we had our Youth Parliament in St. John's. I can tell you the ministers and the other officials that was present can attest to the quality of the debates yesterday.
Okay.
And they debated the abatement of the Litter Act. That was very, very, very fruitful. Today we are down at Granby Street in the tongue of St. George, right, where the street that hosts the markets on Fridays in front of Voyager. We begin at 11 a.m. and that was about 1 minute ago. We would have started there. We are having our National Youth Career Fair today. We have over 25 employers and employment companies there with us today. Companies such as Silver Sands, KM2 Solutions, Clare Harbour. We have a number of companies within the tourism sector. We have NIS. The list can go on and on today. And the reason we have started so early is because we wanted the persons who may have the opportunity during the lunchtime to actually capitalize on that in the event that they may not have the time after work this afternoon. And we are going all the way up until 6 p.m. So we are actually having a more or less a full day of job career fair today. We're anticipating that a number of our young persons who are there looking for a job, those who have a job that is looking for something better, or those who would like to be educated about careers within various sectors, they too are provided with an opportunity to be engaged at our job fair today. Particularly, we are promoting our youth bees. Government would have made a commitment as it relates to providing small business facilities for young persons with small business ideas, where we serve as an incubator to actually help them realize their business ideas. So today we have a special Ministry of Youth booth at our career fair where our young persons will get an opportunity to be informed about the procedures and the areas that are involved or cross-cuts the youth-based sector at the Ministry of Youth and Sport. So we are giving them a total package at our National Youth Career Fair. Today we expect a number of our ministers of government to be joining us for it, as well as a number of dignitaries. And we are anticipating a full house today down at Granby Street that began a while ago.
All right. Well, I must commend the Ministry of Youth Development because I think this is a wonderful initiative. And I think it is something that you guys, if not has yet considered, should consider doing on an annual basis or monthly. Or if you can do it monthly, do it quarterly, because there's so many young people within our communities that are not guided properly as it relates to finding a job, looking for a job. Some of them don't even know what they want to do. And if they can receive, or if there's an avenue for them to receive that kind of guidance, then that's important.
Well, a big thing for us at the Division of Youth at present is ensuring that we facilitate the transitioning process of persons who are members of the New Imani program as well as the Hope component of the program.
Right.
So we know that the 2 years would have elapsed we know we have a commitment to provide the enabling environment for young persons to go about striving in the industry that they have a passion for. But it's not our aim to say we must let you go on the streets, not knowing exactly what you're going into. So as a ministry and as a department, we are actually working on a number of initiatives, getting young persons interested in the small business component of the ministry, getting our new Imani trainees involved in opportunities such as the career fair. We're anticipating that it will not just be a one-off career fair, but maybe at least 2 per year or 3 per year, where young persons, especially persons within the New Imani program, will get an opportunity to interface with our employers as well as network with them. Because you know and I know, you may have 6 persons going on an interview, and a particular employer may know about X person and they know about the attitude that they comes with. They know about the deportment, the level of professionalism. Apart from just having the qualifications, now that person may miss one of the key criteria to actually get that job. But because that employer is knowledgeable of that individual's capacity, their professionalism, their workability, their attitude, that alone could give them a competitive edge over another competitor vying for a same position. Hence the reason why we see opportunities such as the job fair that we are doing today as a critical platform where our young persons can be provided with a platform for them to actually realize the true potential.
Right. And I like what you said as it relates to attitude and how they conduct themselves, because that has been a big problem for a lot of employers. And it's not that there are not jobs available. It's not that there's a high rate of turnover or within the job sector. It's just that our young people are not trained to behave themselves properly. And a matter of fact, it's not just the training, but it's the will to want to do better. You know, because you can give them all of the opportunities. You can put the opportunities in front of them, but it is them to really make that extra effort to get to the place where they need to be. You know, and I have my reservations about the Imani program, and as it relates to its management and how you know, how people perceive it. I have my issues with that. But we can give them the opportunity for 2 years. They can be in the Imani program for 2 years. They can gain the experience that is needed, because one of the biggest problems that we have with employers, people going out to work, is that employers are asking for experience, right? But you can't get experience if you don't give me a job, right? And I believe that Imani program is geared to kind of cushion that effect, right? But it is up to them after that 2 years has expired, or even within the 2 years, to really actively seek employment, because they know, I'm assuming that when they get into the program, they know that they're only going to be here for 2 years. You're only here for 2 years. After 2 years, we can provide an enabling environment for you to receive a job, but we are not the ones handing out the job, so we can't obviously give you a job. You know, and once they accept that fact, then they must make that extra effort, go that extra mile to say, I really want to find a job. I really want to do better for myself and my family. So these are the things that I must do.
Definitely. Well, you're aware that as a country, we are very small.
Yes.
And one of the major challenges that we face with such a program is available placements. Now, we can have hundreds of young persons all indicating what their preferences are. However, there may never be an opportunity for you to get that exact preference that you have because of the job market. Right? Additionally, we may have what you're looking for existing in Grenada. However, X company is not willing to actually partner with the New Imani program to have young persons placed there to gain that level of apprenticeship opportunity for them. So it's quite colorful as it relates to the challenges that confronts us in effectively and efficiently running such a program. However, we are obligated to do the best that we can.
Of course.
Now, as a young person getting an opportunity, and I can speak from it because that is where my career began. I began in the my career began in the New Imani program.
Right.
But my motive and my passion was to be more, to get more, to go more,
Right.
and to get and
Right.
to go beyond.
Right.
Now, if that is not the expectation, or if that's not the mandate of each and every one of us who are part of the program as a participant, then it's very difficult for success to be handed to you.
Of course.
No, I believe that as a government, we would have made the biggest step, which is making the investment.
Right.
You would know, spending over $2 million every month on your stipend and training and all of those things for young persons, that alone is worthy of commendation. And I can tell you that I would have traveled in nearly every Caribbean country, as well as was deeply involved in doing a lot of the research in the creation of this program,
Right.
as far as Australia, Zimbabwe, and the list can go on and on. And there is no other program in the world, none. There is no other program based on our research that is so widely spread as the New Imani program.
Right.
Yes, there are apprenticeship programs that are similar in nature, and the length of time is totally different. In all of the instances where we would have actually found similar programs like the New Imani program, the length of time was 6 months.
Right.
So they would have been training young persons for 6 months. 3 months, I think, was in some cases 2 months training in the basic life skills.
Right.
However, at the end of the program, they did not leave with a CVQ. Now, government in Grenada is providing, and it's one of our mandate to ensure that every participant departs the New Imani program with a CVQ.
Okay.
So even if you would have transitioned out of the New Imani program without getting a permanent job, you must still consider yourself blessed because of the fact that government would have invested significant sums of money to ensure that your CVQ opportunity has been provided to you.
Right.
So even if you would have went into the Imani program without any subjects, you would have went into the Imani program with 2 subjects. Yes, there is a tier process whereby you are provided with a stipend based on your qualification.
Right.
But additionally, we're spending almost $4,000 per training
Right.
to ensure that every person leaves the program with at least a CVQ. And I think that alone deserves some level of gratitude.
Right, right. Absolutely. I definitely agree with you. And for those of you who are listening and don't really know what a CVQ is, it's Caribbean Vocational Qualifications, right? And I believe with that, it's training, assessment, certification, and it's within the region. I believe most of the regional countries have a training center for that. It's kind of like a TVET,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah, it's a TVET.
And with that, it allows you an opportunity to be qualified in any of the countries within the region.
Yeah.
So even if leaving the Imani and you do not find a job within Grenada, it opens a door for you, gives you an opportunity to migrate to one of the other Caribbean countries and seek employment there. So I mean, that is really very commendable. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, because a lot of us look at the Imani program as just persons going into the program, sitting down at home without a job, and they are sucking up taxpayers' monies because they're not doing anything and they're just sitting at home. And it's good when people can come and clarify and explain.
But I want you to picture a Grenada without the New Imani program today.
I don't want to.
Picture the kind of Grenada, the kind of society we will have without the existence of the New Imani program. It means that while the general public is aware of the amount of investment that we are spending in the New Imani program, which is fine, it may be a lot, but isn't it more beneficial for as a government to invest in the human resource development of our country rather than investing in feeding young men and women at Richmond Hill Prison? Now, which one do we prefer? You know, sometimes we have to make some harsh decisions. It's not just about what is the best decision that makes all of us more comfortable, but sometimes it's all about making the unusual decisions which can benefit our country in the long run. Now, picture the amount of companies in Grenada today that rely heavily on the assistance of trainees that are placed within the businesses. I could never forget 3 weeks ago, we had one of our Hope or Imani meetings. And one of the ladies, I met her there. And in my wildest dream, I could not believe that she was an Imani trainee. I know I go to the Inland Revenue Department for the last maybe 3 years to pay my license. And the success, the type of service that I get from her, I would have never believed that she's a trainee. More so than what is provided by permanent workers in some of our establishments. So the program provides an opportunity not just to benefit our trainees, but our government are benefiting from it. Every single Grenadian is benefiting from the Imani program, directly or directly. And I say that because when these young persons provide a service and they deliver a service of such high quality, it does not just stay here. When a visitor gets that type of treatment in any of our establishments, be it public or private sector, these people go back to the country and speak about the hospitality of our young persons, right? Now, they don't go and say it is a service that was provided to me by the new Imani program, because they don't know who are a trainee or who is not a trainee.
That's all right.
But I'm just telling you the added value that our new Imani program participants provide to all the working class, all the persons, all the companies, all of the entities in Grenada that is actually benefiting. And even if there are companies that do not have Imani trainees engaged at the moment, you are still benefiting in one way or the other, because when we get the good feedbacks, it categorizes the business environment in Grenada. When that young person do something, it benefits all of us in Grenada. So it's not just about saying, I want to play partisan politics. And you know what? I am not a supporter of government, so I don't want any Imani trainees in my establishment. But you know what? Somebody would have provided your children with an opportunity, same as the Imani program. And you know what? What is so shameful sometimes? Sometimes we are so proud. You know? We don't want people to say, oh, I have trainees at my businesses, when our own children are beneficiaries of the same Imani program. I mean, sometimes we have to appreciate. And you know, the Bible said, if we don't appreciate the small things, then how do we expect the master to give us big things? If we don't appreciate small things, we will not appreciate the bigger things. So sometimes we have to stop here. How many of us as companies have stepped forward and say, you know what, I have a company in Grenada, and while I may not be 100% satisfied with everything within the Imani program, and I expect that it's a program that is evolving, it's a program that we're fixing, it's a program that we are working with as we go. But how many of us as company, as businessmen and women, or as investors, have stepped forward and say, I would like to partner with the new Imani program to pay my 50% so that I can get 3 or 4 or 5 Imani trainees, right? I am not saying that we were going to get it every time. And I commend the companies that are out there, and they are very good supporters of the new Imani program. And I can tell you, mind you, we have some very good stakeholders that is playing their part when it comes to the Imani program. Some of them are treating our trainees like any other worker that is permanent in their establishment. And that is why I say we all have our part to play. You cannot be speaking about the new Imani program from one angle and not offering your solutions or not offering to actually partner with us. Then it makes no sense. And that is why I say to people, when you have challenges, come to me with challenges, but come with solutions. I want to know how you can assist us to make it better. Calling Shaggy in the morning to actually come and lambaste a particular young person, or lambaste the Imani program, or lambaste any of the programs of the Department of Youth, that does not actually add any value to me as a Grenadian. What adds value to me is you saying, you know what? I would not call Shaggy radio station. Let me call and see if we can have a meeting with the people in the ministry or the people at the New Imani Secretariat. Lambast my concerns, fine. But also say to them, these are some of the ways in which we can do it better. These are some of the new value added we can actually inculcate into the program. I am concerned about how we can work together.
Yeah.
I am not concerned about who is an NNP supporter or who is not an NNP supporter, who is an NDC supporter, who is not an NDC. That has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
What is important to us, we are given a mandate by government. Nothing that is listed on our job description in the document that is managing New Imani program or any of the programs that the Division of Youth. Neither do the Prime Minister comes and meet with us and say, Bihari, Minister, PS, you only look for, you should only be looking out for persons that you are aware supports government. That has never been the mandate. The mandate is to provide a service for all of our young persons who are living in the state of Grenada, is to provide opportunities for every single Grenadian that is categorized within 18 and 35, which is our age group.
Right.
We are here to serve everybody without any political biases, without any partisan intention, without any color, regardless of your creed, your religion. It has nothing to do with us at the Division of Youth. We are very concerned about providing equal opportunity for every Grenadian in every facet of life. That is our mandate at the Division of Youth.
And a wonderful mandate it is. And I'm happy that you were here to say that today because, you know, sometimes when you speak on a platform, people think that you speak only in favor of the platform that you speak on. And it's important to note that this program is available for all of the young people of Grenada. And sometimes we have to guide our young people. I was speaking earlier to the people and telling them that we have lost our sense of community. We are no longer interested in what happens to the young people around us. And that is a sad thing to say, but it is the truth. Because there are so many opportunities. We no longer are our brother's keeper. We no longer encourage the children in our constituencies and in our communities, even our neighbors' children. We see them struggle, and before they do something wrong, we are ready to criticize, and we are there to say, you know, what's wrong with these children? But where is the help? How can you as a person go to the Ministry of Youth and find out what is available? Maybe they themselves don't even know that there are opportunities available because there's nobody to tell them. They have no avenue in which they can find out, you know? So I think we as Grenadians need to go on a massive campaign to round up our young people and ensure that they are productively engaged. Because I know we just spoke of the Imani program, but I'm sure there are a lot of other programs within the Ministry of Youth Development for our young people. So just tell us a little bit more about what is available.
But just before I go into that, I want to say to you that before we ask our citizens or ask our adults to round up our young persons, our adults need to round up themselves, first of all. Because when you look around, some of the examples that is shown to our young persons is nothing close to what our young persons should even be thinking of emulating.
Yeah.
It is so bad sometimes that, it's more or less, it disappoints you deep within as senior citizens. And I say it all the time. It begins with you and it ends with you. Yes, you want to chastise young persons for doing this and all of those things. But when you look at the examples that is shown by a lot of our adults, they have to go back to the drawing board. A lot of our parents have to take their rightful place.
Yes.
A lot of our fathers have to take their rightful place in the homes. Our mothers have to actually take back their roles. Unless we don't take back our roles in the home, we cannot expect government to fix it.
Yes.
Because government is not a Mr. Fix-It. It's not the fix-it miracle persons out here to fix it. It begins in the home. Government is here to provide an enabling environment to facilitate the transition and the sustainability of young persons and the development.
Yeah.
Government's role is not here to say to you, Jerry, here is a job. That's not the role of government. Government's role is primarily to ensure that you're bringing the investment, you ensure that the circulation of finances is good, you ensure that the climate for doing business in Grenada is totally perfect, so that your young people can get an opportunity.
Yeah.
Is not to hand you a job. But definitely at the Division of Youth, we have a lot happening. And I say, when persons ask me what is happening at the Division of Youth, I say it is happening. Only yesterday we concluded our last parish youth parliament. Now, we had not had youth parliament at the parish level for over 7 to 8 years.
Right.
We would have actually brought back that sometime earlier this year. We held youth parliaments in St. David's, St. Andrew, St. Patrick, St. Mark, St. John, St. George. So all of our parishes on the mainland held its parish seated. Okay. In Carriacou, they will have their national debates and so forth, and we expect to go up to Carriacou within the first quarter of 2020 to host our parish parliament. So we are not leaving them out in any shape or form.
Right.
Yesterday we was in St. John, and I can tell you it was very, very good. We are actually getting ready for looking at the selection process as it relates to who from among all of our parish sitting will actually get the nod to move over to sit at the national parliament, where we're going to go to the actual chambers itself. So we are not the type of persons, or we are not the ministry, we're not in this to actually handpick somebody. But we believe at each of the sittings, we have independent judge that use a criteria to actually select the best debaters at each of the sittings. Right. And these persons will now go up now to the national sitting. Okay. And that is only the National Youth Parliament that we would have actually brought back. Right. Very soon we're going to see rolling out our National Ambassadors Program. And we would have had the National Youth Ambassadors Program, but I would say by name. But we don't believe at the Division of Youth, a National Youth Parliamentarian or a National Youth Ambassador should be somebody that just carry a name. Right. A National Youth Ambassador should be a champion for the community, a champion for the country, a champion for all the young persons that they represent. Right. It not just should be a title. They should be out there visible, attending to the needs of our young persons, echoing some of the sentiments of our young persons at the community level. Yeah. So it goes way beyond having a title as Youth Ambassador. So that too is actually coming on stream. We have our National Youth Liaison Desk, where we provide a lot of support as it relates to training and capacity building for our community-based organizations. That is actually ongoing. We have Project Reach that we have at the prison. So even at the prison, we have our young persons that are within the youth age. We are working closely with them to ensure that when they come out of the prison system, it's something where they can be rehabilitated. We have a number of them doing CVQs in a variety of areas, small business development, construction, farming, and so forth. We actually run the same programs at the prison because what we want, yes, a young man would have actually come in conflict with the law, and he would have ended up at Her Majesty's prison because of the nature of the crime. But our aim is to ensure that we stop. We should not be creating a seasoned criminal. Yes, a mistake would have been made, but our role as a division is to ensure that that young man or that young woman does not repeat the same offense and having to get back to that point of going or re-entering the prison system. That's not our aim. Our aim is to ensure that we educate, we inform, but most of all, we rehabilitate our young persons to get them on that pathway where they can become contributors towards our overall GDP here in Grenada. Right. Additionally, recently in the month of April this year, we would have launched our Youth Bees program. That is our small business unit of the Division of Youth. We would have also launched our first business hub in the parish of St. Mark's. And we would have already we are actually trained our second batch of young persons who had interest in small business development. Right. We would have actually gone to the point now of we started the disbursement of funding for our young persons who actually would have gone through all of the training, and they would have satisfied our criteria, worked diligently on the completion of the business plan. Because, it's not just about delivering training to our young persons, but the training should actually facilitate that mindset and the knowledge to actually assist them in the creation of the business plan. Right. Now, you're aware that there are many young persons, there are many businesses that are existing right now in Grenada. And if you ask somebody a particular question, they cannot tell you how to solve it. Why? because I went to somebody and they pay $500 to write a business plan for me.
Right.
Or I pay $1,000 for somebody to write a business plan for me.
Yeah.
But does that do anything, or does it add any value to that young man? No, a problem exists with your staff. A problem exists where you realize you really don't have the cash to do what you're supposed to be doing as it is in the business plan. How do you turn quickly to plan B?
Right.
No, you have to rely on somebody to run the business for you. How do you track somebody when they're managing the finances in your business and you really don't have a clue as it relates to how to realize that X monies are missing, or X monies should be coming into my business, or this should be my projection. These are my actuals for the month. No, something is wrong. Yeah. Now, if you was not instrumental in the development of your own business plan, it's very difficult for you to effectively and efficiently manage your business from that mindset.
Very true.
You know what I mean? And that is one of the things we are focusing on. But at the Business Hub, we are providing a lot of other services like printing of business cards, printing of flyers at discounted prices for our small business persons.
Okay.
We have gone the extra mile where we have our business development officers that we hired to work closely with our persons with a business idea. Help them flesh out the ideas, help them develop a nice business plan, help them get into the training, understand the concepts involved in the management of a business, because it's not just an easy thing. To actually own your own business is something that you have to be very serious about.
Yes.
But we have a lot of monitoring and evaluation now where our team goes out into the field to look at what our small business officers or small business recipients are doing, see how we can provide advice, see how we can provide a hand-holding relationship. But very soon, I know many persons are aware of the Empower program. Now, very soon, the Empower program will now be transitioning a number of small business persons to our Business Hub. Right? So they would have gone through the Empower program, got all of the life skills that they needed, got an opportunity to be involved in various CVQs, various training, as well as various short-term courses. Mm-hmm. They also got an opportunity to be attached to a business. Okay. No, not every business will take on somebody permanently. Right. No, I feel so proud when I went to Port Louis a few weeks ago, and the chef that prepared my dish said to me, Mr. Bihari, do you know that I'm an Empower participant?
Wow.
And that alone, that meant a lot to me. When you taste the food that he prepared, you could not see Empower participant mark on it. You could not say it tasted like an Empower training. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, the quality that was taught to him mm-hmm. actually really inspired him. He said from a very early period of his life, he had that passion for the hospitality sector.
Right.
He had done some training and so forth, but he had never gotten an opportunity to work in an establishment where we could actually provide a service to people. And when I was delivered with that news, that alone made my day. But we actually moved a step further where our Empower participants who would have been through the Empower program. And in December, we had what we call as a savings for them, similar to a susu. Mm-hmm. So every month, we have $100 that we save within the ministry for every participant of the of the Empower program. So all 500 of them would have been saving $100 every month.
Wow.
Which means that in December coming, each of them will have $1,200 that actually we saved on their behalf.
Wow.
But listen, it even get better. As part of our program plan, what will be happening in December, we will then be matching that with another $1,200. So each of the Empower participants will leave the program with $1,200, not in their hand. It can either go towards the advancement educationally, whether they want to be enrolled in the NULO, they want to be enrolled in TAMCC, you got through with SGU or any other university, you want to go to CDAC, you want to go to Miss Gray's. It have to be something that will actually develop you educationally.
Yeah.
Or we give you an option. You are interested into going into a small business. So the young person that we place in mechanic that really have his passion, his money may go into the purchasing of tools and equipment for him to get into that on his own. Mm-hmm. The young man that wants to start bringing in his items to sell, like bricks pads and wiper blades and so forth, we will make the payments to the service provider. We deliver the items to you as your first batch of items that you sell, make your money, and you continue the turnover of your business. We have young persons that indicated to us that they have a deep passion for maintenance. They want to get involved in maintaining people's homes, maintaining some of our government building environment, the surrounding, and so forth. So we actually bringing in the visitors with the gas bottles, the goggles, the overalls, everything for them. So at the end of the program, we are providing them with an opportunity to actually go there and to live a sustainable life.
Wow.
So we are very big about sustainable livelihood. At the end of the Empower program, it should not be a situation where any of our participants who would have been through the Empower program get out and having to sit home wanting and longing for something else. What other training is available? Yes, that must be your motive, but you must leave from the angle that I am also my own businessman. Yeah. I am now my own manager. I am now my own director. I am the chief executive officer of my business. Yeah. So when they ask you for where you're placed or where you're working, you must say, I am the director of JD's Construction Services. I am the manager of Royden's Maintenance Services.
Right.
So what we are doing, and that is the reason why even before getting to the point in December, all of our small business or all of our Empower participants would have gotten an opportunity to go through our small business training.
Right.
Where we know we give them the key things that are required so that when we provide them with the equipment, they should be utilizing it from a position of knowing rather than wanting.
Yeah.
I know that my attitude have to be right.
Yeah.
If I'm going to employ somebody to rake the grass that I'm cutting with my weed eater,
yeah.
I have to know how to speak to them.
Yeah.
I have to know how to dress. I have to be knowledgeable of the fact that they need to pay the NIS, whether I take it out for them and pay it, or whether I pay them and we remind them that they need to go in and pay the contribution. So there is a lot that we are doing at the Division of Youth. Apart from small business, we are now working very closely with the Ministry of Agriculture for our Youth in Agriculture project. That we are working on a number of cooperative. Actually, as I speak now, we have a team that is going on the island, looking at a few of the sites where we're actually going to establish, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, our garment production cooperatives here in Grenada, right. Working a lot on the sewing of school uniforms and all of those things. Right. So we are doing a lot. I mean, if I only get the opportunity to speak about every single thing that we are doing at the Division of Youth, it may take me an entire week to actually go through all of it. But what I'm saying to you is that all of our programs in the Division of Youth are specifically designed to ensure that the young person that is at X level gets an opportunity. Mm-hmm. The young person that is at Y level, they gets an opportunity. So we have programs that actually caters to the varying aspects and expectations of young persons. And hence the reason why a lot of our programs were designed with our young persons as consultants to the programs that we are doing. Yeah. Hence the reason why a lot of our programs are so successful, because we actually build it with our young persons on the block. We was in gun battle last year and showing that we build a program for them. Mm-hmm. So when we go there, they feel a greater sense of appreciation in delivering the programs of the Division of Youth.
Wow. Well, I'm impressed. I really, really am impressed. And I mean, if you didn't come here and speak today about all of these things that are going on for the young people in Grenada, I myself probably would not have known half of them. Okay. You know, and I'm somebody who seeks information. So we still have a lot of people out there who do not even know at all. Mm-hmm. Is there a way or is there a means by which we can encourage young people to contact somebody within, is there a contact or a point person within the Ministry of Youth and a number that they can call that can give them advice and tell them, you know, because I love when you say, are young people that are interested in engineers. So what these programs do is they help the young people to tap into their interests. A lot of young people don't know what they want to do, you know. Yeah. A lot of them don't know what do you want to be in life? What business do you want to start? Where do you see yourself? Mm-hmm. And they don't know. And they need that kind of guidance. So if these programs are providing this kind of guidance for them, then that's an amazing thing. It's a wonderful start. Mm-hmm. So what we need to do is encourage more of our young people to contact the Ministry of Youth Development whether they have an outlet in their constituencies or whoever it may be, to really speak to them and see what's available for them?
So what we do at the moment, we provide all of our registration forms for small business opportunity as well as the new mandate program. They're provided to every parliamentary representative's office.
Okay.
And that is not an NNP office.
Right.
It is an office serving all of our young persons, and I want to make sure that that is totally clear. I know somebody will say, why it at the parliamentary representative's office, right? Because that is the person in charge of the constituency, and that's another avenue where they can get it. Additionally, we normally will send to some of the revenue offices and so forth. So wherever young persons go and they want a form, they can actually just go into any of those entities and actually grab one of the forms. But definitely at the Division of Youth, we have a number of project officers responsible for various programs and projects.
Okay.
In the event that persons have an interest in any of our programs, they call 440-6917 or 440-6918. 440-6917 or 440-6918. Once they call, you're going to go to the PBX. The receptionist will provide you, once you engage them and explain to them which of the programs you're calling for information for, they will actually provide the call to the project officer that is totally responsible for that project or their assistants.
Okay.
Additionally, we have a very visible presence on social media or Facebook page. We are very active. Every day we have postings there. We post job vacancies. We post opportunities. We post all that we have, that we offer. We post announcements. Everything on our Facebook page. You can go on the Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture, and the Arts, or you can either choose to go on the Division of Youth Grenada Division of Youth. Any of those pages will provide you with the information that is needed to actually get any additional information.
So is it in the plan, and if not, is it possible that the Ministry of Youth Development can maybe by fortnightly, every 2 weeks or so on, do a newsletter, a pamphlet that provides the information that can go out to the field? Because we have a situation where we have a lot of young people, men in particular, who will not call. They will not go out and seek the information. We know that is a reality. Is there a way that we can get the information to them? Maybe a newsletter, whether it's monthly, posting that same information that you have online with the available opportunities and the job opportunities and the training opportunities and even some success stories as well. Is there something like that in the making? Because what I've realized is that in Grenada, we don't go to consultations. We don't call and seek information. We don't do any of these things, yet we say that there's nothing happening. But how do we know that anything is happening if we don't seek the information, right? But in some cases, even though people don't seek the information, we must find a way to get the information to them.
Yes.
So is there something like that within the plan of the Ministry of Youth?
Well, definitely. What I can say to you is, if you do a research within the entire Caribbean, you'd realize that the Ministry of Youth in Grenada, or the Division of Youth, remove sports and remove culture and the arts. The Division of the Youth in Grenada, compared to any of the Caribbean countries, have the largest staff.
Right.
Right? And we invest a lot on our outreach officers.
Right.
So we have one team of officers. Actually, first of all, we have youth officers in every constituency, and they are supervised by a supervisor or a team leader. So we have one team that takes care of all of St. Andrew and all of St. David's as well as St. Patrick, and another team that takes care of St. Mark, St. John's, and all of St. George's. And in Carriacou, we have another. P.T. Matnick, we just brought on board as a separate youth officer. So the aim is that these people are in the field, mobilizing for any activity that goes into the field. So they are given the quota where they have to get the people from their communities within their regions.
Right.
We have opportunities, persons to capitalize on it. They would go out into the field on different days in different communities to actually get an opportunity to share the information with the young men and women to see how many persons would like to benefit and contribute from the opportunities provided. So we have a very diverse and robust team out in the field. We are working hard in improving our service delivery at the moment, seeing how we can provide a lot more as it relates to social media, providing a lot more information out there to the general public, utilizing the radio station, television stations, and social media, as well as making our engagement in the community more quantifiable, whereby it is measurable, it is attainable, it is smart, it is realistic, and it is timely. So we are using our smart approaches as we're going out there to deliver more youth services to our nation. And that is our aim. In 2020, we definitely look to raise the bar even higher than we would have raised the bar in 2019.
Right.
As we move forward as a division, it is our aim that we will not stop until we can actually see every young person at a point where they can sustain themselves as an individual. And you know it's very difficult to get to that point, which means that we will never stop providing excellent customer service, providing real opportunities to our young persons without any biases, any partisan politics, any color, any reach, or any creed, any religion. Our aim is to provide equal opportunity to every single Grenadian from us at the Division of Youth.
That is wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. So maybe it's time for us to consider putting that information out there, because even the guys who lime on the block and these things, even if your field officers are not able to get to them, maybe you put it in a shop, or you put it in a supermarket, give somebody on the field to give out, to go to the blocks and to meet the young men there and give it out to them so that they have in their hands and they cannot say that I do not know or I never knew. And that's so important. But I'm happy to hear that there's so many opportunities for our young people, because there has been a lot of talk about the young people of Grenada being neglected and all of that. And it's good when we can say, no, there are opportunities available. What we need to start doing is not complaining, but, enhancing and advising and encouraging our young people to take advantage of the opportunities. While the opportunities may not be exactly what they expect it to be, but you have to start from somewhere.
Yep,
you have to start from somewhere.
Well, definitely. I mean, I always say to people, there is nobody that can come in front of me and say, young people don't have any opportunities. I mean, if you come in front of me with that, I would say to you, you should be ashamed. Because this government can boast of the significant investment in young people. And I remember when the Division of Youth started, I was there. We started with 15,000 EC dollars. Today our budget is almost $50 million.
Right.
So imagine we would have moved from 15,000 to almost 50 million.
Right.
Doesn't that show to you that we really believe in youth?
Of course.
We put our monies where our mouth is. It's not just about talking. We talk the talk at the Division of Youth, but we walk the walk. And every single opportunity that we get to lobby for our young persons, as it relates to senior staff, we do so. And hence the reason why, if you look at the investment in youth, forget about just what is directly invested for the Division of Youth. Think about what is invested in the Ministry of Education for our young people. Invested in agriculture for Youth in Agriculture project. Social development for young people. Prime Minister's Office, the safety net programs is same young people. So when you actually add up all of these investments, you cannot say that the investment in young people in this country is very shaggy. I must say we must be the first to actually extend gratitude to the government for its significant investment in taking care of our young persons. Do you know that we have many Grenadians, many young people, without the investment that government makes in its programming, today was not going to have an opportunity that they have today. When the young man that got an opportunity in the New Imani program is now the manager of the company, that makes me feel happy.
Yeah.
When we take the boat and we get to Carriacou and we get to the bank in Carriacou, and the lady can say to you, I was the cleaner here at this bank, and the Imani program provided me with this opportunity, and today I am the manager of of this bank. This deserves a table knock.
Yeah.
And when the young man can say to you, he would have been to the New Imani program, and today he's the acting coordinator of youth development, it means that we are putting our money where our mouths are.
Yeah.
And when the young people can say to you that today I am a permanent teacher because of the New Imani program, and you see, that's the thing that confuses me every day. the people that call the radio to speak about all of the negatives are the people that knows the positive, but they are so ashamed of actually promoting the positive.
Yeah.
Now, let's be fair. We must give government its responsibility, and we must actually complain when we have the things that we definitely want to see improvement in. Fine. And that is why we are all here, to help each other. But we must not forget